Good morning to all and all. Myself Suguna SN. I'm discussing now the session 36 of organizational behavior from the chapter 4, that is group dynamics. Here I have discussing the topic group norms. First we have to know what you mean by a norms or a group norms. A norm is a rule of conduct. It has to be maintained and established by the group. It has to be followed by every members in that particular group to have and to maintain the consistency in the behavior. What is consistency in the behavior means? It has to be like the behavior of the individuals to be in a expected and the acceptable manner. So they have to be behave well in the organization or in the particular group itself. It is called maintaining the consistency in the behavior. So a norm, usually it is unspoken or unwritten, often we can say unwritten, a set of informal rules that going to govern or control the individual behaviors in the particular group. So these norms which is mainly framed or which is mainly going to include in that particular group mainly for the purpose of governing or controlling or making like a proper way of behaving of that particular members in that group. So it is sometimes we can say it is oftenly unspoken or unwritten a set of rules, and sometimes it will be of like a framed set of rules or formal set of rules will be framed or will be set in the particular group to maintain and to have the proper well-mannered behavior of every individuals in a group. Without group norms, individual would have no understanding how to act in a social situations. Most of the individuals, if they are well matured, the maturity it depends on the maturity of the individuals. They're going to behave in a proper manner, and few of them they will not they will not going to have the well expected manner of behavior. For them it needs a set of rules or the group norms to be framed, and it is very essential to the manager or the team leader whether it is understood selfly or individually to the individual members in the group. So they have to be framed and they have to be told what are the do's and the don'ts of that particular group to be performed, a group to be behaved. So it is very much essential in every group, either it may be a small or a larger, because firstly are in the orientation at the framing stage only. If we are going to tell what are the group norms, they well known with that norms and they're going to perform in that particular following of that particular norms itself. If we are not going to convey them or we are not going to told them or communicate them, they're going to behave in their own interested or own ways. So it is very essential to the group, a leader, a group team, a leader or a manager to have the set of group norms, and it has to be communicated to each and every member of the group. And definition of the group norms here I have taken according to Arglay. A group norms are rules are guidelines of accepted behavior which are established by a group and is used to monitor the behavior of its members. It's clearly defined, and in a simple way he told that it is the rules are the guidelines. Sometimes we can say that directions are the guidelines itself, and to have the accepted behavior, accepted nothing but it has to be like well-manneredly behaved our behavior. So it will be like no other negative impact should be there in that particular type of a behavior, and like established mainly in the groups, and mainly it is used for the monitoring or like a controlling or governing the behavior of every members of that particular group. So this is the definition which is clearly says. And next, another definition I have taken here according to Stephen R. Robbins. He defined norms are acceptable standards of behavior within a group that are shared by the group members. So here he also says that it is acceptable standards are guidelines, are the directions of behavior. So it going to clearly says that how you have to behave in a particular group, how you have to respond, react and act in that particular group. And these standard of behavior are a set of rules. It has to be shared or communicated to each and every member of the group. So as I said in the meaning itself, it's the responsibility of the team leader or the manager to communicate what are the set of standard behaviors or the set of norms which you're going to define for your particular group itself. So after discussing the definition and the meaning, now we are in the discussion of the characteristics of group norms. So first one I have taken here, the norms are based on the social values. So here we are framing the group norms not to hurt anybody and not to hurt any individual interest or whatever it may be. So we are respecting them with all the sense, and we are telling that keep maintain the respected manner of behavior. So it is respecting, and which is based on the social values. After considering all those values into account, we are going to frame that norms. And norms are social rules which define correct and acceptable behavior in a society or a group to which people are expected to conform. So here the second one, it is based on the like acceptable behavior, how you're going to behave in a particular group or a society, and which has to be confirmed by you, that is individual members. So firstly you have to collect, or you have to ask that particular group leader to communicate all those. It is very important that every individual must know with all those group norms and proceed with further activities of a particular group. And they describe the way the people should behave in a particular situations. So the group norms which specifies you, which prescribes you, and which gives you a standard of a set of behaviors, how you have to behave. You should behave in a particular situation. So it shows you how you have to respond with a particular time of situations, with the provided conditions, how you have to behave, that will be spoken by your group norms. And next one, that is they determine, guide, control and also predict the human behaviors. So here this is the main intention of having a group norms. So this going to determine you and makes you to provide your guidelines at the direction. Along with providing guidelines, they controls you how you have to be behaved, and well mannerly you have to behave like that. And after that it predicts for your future behavior also. So it tells you that how you have to behave in the future circumstances provided, or how you have to be provided in particular context of the situation. This is also possible by framing a correct way of correct group norms in a particular group. So this is about the characteristics of a group norms. Now we move on to the factors responsible for the emergence of group norms. Why there is a need of group norms? Why it is to be like emergence of a group norms? Why you have to frame the group norms for the functioning of a particular groups? So here there are some of the responsible factors which tells you, which talks about there is a need of emergence of a group norms. First one, norms serve as a basis for behavior of the group members. It becomes the basis, of course. So firstly, if you're going to define what are the do's and don'ts of that particular group, so it communicates and makes understands to individual members in a particular group, so how I have to behave, how I have to react. So this becomes the base, the foundation for the individual behaviors of that particular group. So it becomes the basis, it serves as a basis, the foundation to members of the particular group. And secondly, they predict and control the behavior of the members in the groups. So this is mainly wanted by every group, a group leader or the group like a purpose. So here for achievement of a group activities, the targets or accomplishment of the group task, it is needed every member of that particular group. So it has to be performed in a expected manner or acceptable manner. For their performances and for their efforts, there is mainly impact of their behavior, how they're going to react. So this group norms help you, a group leader or the organization even, for the controlling and predicting nothing but the future, how it should be. So it's going to tell you the predict in the future coming how it should be your behavior, and now you have to how you have to behave in a particular group. So for the prediction and the control and the supervision of the behaviors of all the members in the group, it needs a group norms. And next one, group norms are applied to all the members of the group, though not uniformly. So some like we can say that the norms which not belongs to some other persons, some of the members in the group, we can't say like that. So group norms means which is applicable to every member in that particular group itself. So they have to be like, we can't separately say that it belongs to you, it applies to you like that. It understood, it left to the understanding level of the individuals in the group. So it is applied to all the members of the group. So there will be like a uniformity will be followed. Okay, and this uniformity will be there, but along with this uniformity, some of the few of the members, they will take it as a granted, and they will like biased or the favoritism will be happens. Sometimes it happens also. So this is about the factors to be responsible for the emergence of group norms, or simply we can say that why there is a need of group norms. Next one, we are discussing here what are the sources of group norms, how we are going to frame, where we are going to collect the information, so how the group norm should be framed, what are the things, what are the concepts are it has to be included in that particular rule or norms. So first one, norms are likely to be strongly enforced if they ensure group success or the survival. So based on the group success or the survival or the individual group performances, so even we can say that reference groups which mainly act as a basis source of framing of a group norms, what they have followed, what their experiential experimental experiences, what they have performed. So that is taken as a basis here. So it becomes the source of information for the framing of group norms. And the norms reflect preferences of superior or other powerful group members. So some of the superiors, we can say that are higher, highly experienced persons, based on their service, based on their expertise, their powerful authorities in the organization or in the groups, they also contribute how it should be. So based on different types of leaderships, like autocratic or a democratic or a participative type of leadership, based on all those merits and the demerits, based on that basis also they are going to frame the norms. And next one, when group members are uncertain about their behaviors, they have to be exhibit in certain types of situations. So some of the norms which is uncertainly we are going to frame. So you are by your uncertainty, by predicting how it should be, how we have to make it as a rule, make it as a norm in that particular situation or predictable situation. So this also act as a basis for your group norms. And last one, norms are likely to be strongly enforced if they help the group to avoid embracing interpersonal problems. So here, so your norms, what you're going to enforce in the group, so it should avoid the interpersonal problems also. How it going to solve? By framing a rule, how it going to help to the individual members to solve their interpersonal problems or the conflicts themselves itself. So by having a thought-provoking a thinking, so you have to make that basis and make it as a group norms. So this is about the overview of a source of group norms. So that is carry over from the other experiences of a particular groups or the members in that particular group. Either it may be he or she may be a powerful authority in that particular group. By considering by consulting the various successful group leaders from their experiences, also you can going to have the source of information for framing your group norms. And by giving a primacy or like a first preference for the first behavioral precedents, so which going to be happened, like how firstly you have reacted, so how your reaction should be. So based on that predictions, here we can say by forecasting we can make it as a data or a source of information. And by critical events in a group history, by record keeping, already what are the records which are built by other individual groups or the organization in the previous over a period of time. So by collecting all those events in that group histories, also you can take it as a reference, and by referring that history or records, we can say that, so you can frame the norms. And by explicit statements from leaders or the members. So as I said, by collecting the opinions, by having the brainstorming session and come to an what are the rules which we can frame for our team or our group for our smooth flow of work or the smooth flow of performances, or taking the group to a forward for achieving the task which is assigned to us. So by having the brainstorming session, also you can come up with the various suggestions and ideas. This again becomes the source for your group, framing of your group norms. So this is what we have discussed before. So this is the revision part. So group norms means the set of rules or regulations or the standards or the guidelines which you're going to frame for particular group. So based on the various source of information, by collecting the various data by the previous records, or maybe by having a brainstorming sessions, or by having the discussions, you can collect it, and even you can take it from reference groups also. So by having going through a different source of information, you're going to frame that standard set of behavior or the standard set of guidelines which has to be followed in a particular group by its group members. This is the main meaning of a group norms. So, and here it is based on the social values. All the individual members' values and their interests will be protected, and there will not be any other discriminations will be happen in that particular framing of a group norms. And these group norms help you for the having a controlling and predicting of a well acceptable form of behavior by all the individuals in the organizations. And mainly they're going to determine, guide, control, and also predict your behaviors in the organization. This is the main advantage or need of framing a group norms. So by concluding this, so it is very essential that having a group norms for particular group to be existing. So here the responsibility of the team leader, the group leader, the manager to frame the set of rules or the standards or the guidelines to be given to all the members of the that particular group. So, and you have to communicate them, and you have to tell them to how to follow these group norms for the well performance or the effective manner of performance by the individuals and for achieving the particular group task or the goals. So this is about the discussion of group norms. Hope you all understood. Thank you.